What it do, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube page. If this is your first time in my page, basically what I am doing is I'm doing an experiment. Einstein will basically describe this as a thought experiment where I am testing manifestation. I am testing robotic affirmations, every video that's ever on YouTube telling people how to manifest, and then basically redirecting these people to these links with these gurus that can basically teach you how to have everything that you want and desire, money, and etc. etc. I read the textbooks. I've done sessions with people the last few years, and I am here to put this to the test. I'm testing the law of assumption. I am testing everything that's ever been written by Dolores, by Joseph Murphy, by Wayne Dyer, by Neville Goddard. I'm putting it to the test, and I am documenting my journey every single day as I saturate in my robotic affirmations. The affirmation that I am focusing on is I get paid to exist and I always receive large amounts of money out of thin air. Now, can we really manifest money out of thin air? Millions of dollars. A lot of the people in the community are going to tell you, yes, you can manifest anything that you want. And because they're going to tell you that, I am going to put this to the test. I am going to document my journey every single day using these robotic affirmations. I've already done this experiment with other affirmations, trying to test the law. Now, I don't have any proof for the things that I have manifested in the past. So I can't tell you if it was really a thought experiment or if it was because I was taking action. And what I mean by that is it wasn't inspired action. It was me doing the things that I do to have the things that I have. My job or my career and the things I do with music. Now, everything I've ever had, everything I've ever owned I believe that I worked for it. I had to physically do labor in exchange for the things that I do have now. Like 90% of the world, or maybe even 98% of the world, I don't know. However, I came across a lot of these teachings a few years ago. This is nothing new. These books are freaking old. I got into Florence and all these different gurus in regards to the law of attraction or the law of assumption. I read also a lot of texts from Neville, and I don't want to sit here and give you a lecture on Neville and Murphy. We'll save that for another video at some other point in time. I'm just here to give you guys the update. This is day 7 of me doing my robotic affirmations. I get paid to exist and I always receive large amounts of money out of thin air. We are playing with manifestation. Many will tell you that you're always manifesting, and they could be right. I can't scientifically prove it through mathematics, but I can test it doing robotic affirmations for this specific thing. And today, I will say that I am more aware of my thoughts in the sense that I can hear the affirmation now essentially playing in the back of my mind when I'm driving, while I'm doing chores, whether I'm at the gym, whatever it is that I'm doing. The affirmation now is subconsciously playing on its own terms. I am seeing more angel numbers as opposed to other days, in patterns or sequences, but none of that stuff matters. You guys can take it as you guys want, because what we're here for is the full manifestation, right? We're here to test these laws that are put in these books that then these coaches pick up, and then they become these gurus, and I don't know how they get certified, but then they become these certified gurus, and then they want to take people's money, and because they can teach them how to manifest the impossible. Well, I'm not here to do that. I'm here to test the law and see if it works. Let's put it to the test. I can say I'm fully detached from the things that I want because, I have the things that I need. So I can say I'm fully detached from all these things. Let's just put it to the test. Enough of this. I'm going to be the one. I can be your test dummy. I'm sure there's tons of people who are doing videos like these, but I will be one of your test dummies, guys. I am going to test the law of assumption, and I am going to document every single day of this for the next 90 days to see what I am able to manifest through my robotic affirmations. I get paid to exist and I always receive large amounts of money out of thin air. That's one of the affirmations that I'm focusing on as a test. However, there's affirmations that I do for my self-concept also on a daily basis. And that affirmation is, everything is always happening for me for the greater good. And I am chosen. I am loved. These things that I just practice, these are things that I had just always been affirming over the years. But this is the one that I'm going to be testing with. And so far, just a bunch of angel numbers. My thoughts are a little bit more amplified. My senses are a little bit more amplified. I'm more aware of my environments. I see different numbers in sequences. That's kind of what I have for today, guys. I gonna keep doing my robotic affirmations, but that's kind of what it's been feeling like. I'm definitely less, I am very detached from the experiments. I don't feel anxious at all. Just kind of just feel like myself. I can say I'm in a flow state. I do my daily activities, get involved with my family, my friends, do my job, do whatever I got to do to take care of myself. And now I'm just playing with these laws. I'm playing with the law of assumption. I'm playing with robotic affirmations, and we're going to see what happens, right? We could only learn and understand these books through experiments. That's the only way. Reading something and then telling the whole world about it, that you became an expert on it without trying to put it to the test or having these things, that's called a scam artist. I'm not about to do that. I want to make sure that I am documenting my journey and telling you guys exactly what happens every single day as I do my robotic affirmations to see, can we manifest millions of money out of thin air? Can the reality around us shift with our thoughts just within a few days of doing robotic affirmations? Well, we're finding out as we're documenting our journey. Once again, guys, thanks for checking out my channel. If you're new to my channel, make sure to like and subscribe. This is Price, and I'm just testing out the law, doing robotic affirmations, spending time doing robotic saturation sessions, and we're trying to see where it goes, right? The only way we're ever going to get anything in life is by experimenting and by trying. And then I am putting this to the test. And I am putting all these textbooks to the test. Everything that's ever written, I have been experimenting with it. I can best assure you, I spend hours and I spend tons of time trying to find and try to understand how this works, and talk to a lot of different people who have been doing this. And, here we have it, guys. Either way, I'm not going to keep bullshitting and give you guys and beating around the bush. This is day 7 of robotic affirmations. I get paid to exist, and I always receive large amounts of money out of thin air. Can we make money, thousands if not millions of dollars, just doing this? Well, let's find out. Thanks for watching, guys. This is day 7 of robotically affirming this affirmation. Thanks for following my journey. If you're new to my channel, subscribe, as I mentioned before. And I am out. Till next time.